You guys are amazing at doing it. You guys are a great company with great culture. So it's an honor that we're here again.
Michael Thorne, I am lost in the chat. I mean, we are from Rockland, California to New Jersey to Florida, Cuba. We're nationwide on this call today. Michael, thank you for joining us. And we will have you, 2 words for the day, bejeweled and bedazzled, in the black and gold by the time you join us next time. We're also, Carrie, thrilled to have Cuba with us today. I'm very proud to be with this organization in a lot of ways, but one reason today on the 7th of January in 2026 is the company's willingness to embrace, adopt, and incorporate AI into your business to help you walk into it courageously, unafraid, and ready to take on the market with the help of this to amplify the relationship, as my friend Michael Thorne says. So joining us as a new strategic partner with Buffini and Company, Carrie and I welcome Michael Thorne today. So thank you.
Can I share an observation real quick? Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, you can.
At our summit in Miami, just it's been already a couple months. I walked into, and I've never met Michael Thorne. I walked into his session on AI. It was a 2-hour session. And my biggest takeaway was it was 700 people, standing room only, nobody left. Nobody was on their phones. People were leaning in and they're hungry for this. They want to sink their teeth into it. They know it's meaningful. And as we say, achieve greater success faster. So Michael, you're the man. And we're always hungry to learn.
Well, Cuba, on that note, and we talked about it just briefly before we pressed record on this. It was amazing to hang out with your crew in Miami. And I've been around a lot of companies for a lot of years. And what you guys have is special, not only in the leadership, but also in the agent. And I think there's a lot of people, a lot of companies out there that think they're tackling AI, that they're going about it the right way, that they're empowering their agents. And for a lot of reasons, they just aren't. They're either using it the wrong way, they're underestimating the opportunity and the change that's going to come along with it. And that's not the case of what's happening at Realty One. So all of the people that are there that are part of the agents and the brokerages, you should be excited that you have the leadership and the training and the push forward to create the best decade or decades ahead by embracing this technology in the very right way, which is keeping the human at the center of the transaction.
Opportunity abounds. Michael, let's get started. We're going to have the chat line. Carrie and I are going to be monitoring that for questions. If you've joined us in the past and you've been a part of any of Michael's presentations, you know it's a little bit like drinking water from a fire hose. So I kind of want to set this up by saying a couple of things. It's going to be repurposed and available for you on our YouTube channel. It's also going to be on One University, and there's an opportunity which I am going to commit in 2026 to sign up for AI Bootcamp. Yep. Because I really think I need that. So Carrie, I'm going to challenge you to challenge me to keep us true to that. And there are a couple of friends. Jeff, we need you to join us on that too. You were looking for a partner yesterday, so maybe we can do that. So Michael, let's get going.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you so much. So there's a lot of stuff I want to cover here over the next 45 minutes or so, but I want to set you up for a really great win in 2026 by really starting to lean in, as Kathy says, into AI. But I do want to keep like sort of the expectations this way. I did 2 hours in Miami. I could have done 7, but there is sort of this overload that at some point you become full and you just can't put more in. And so I want to sort of temper what we're doing today. I'm going to show you 3 examples of how you can use AI today in 3 different ways, all within ChatGPT. And now there's a bunch of different platforms and tools you can use out there. I'll share you what I believe is the ideal AI starter kit for agents. But I really want to let you know that this is absolutely the tip of the iceberg. One of the reasons why we did the training program is because it has to be ongoing. It has to be continuous. Things change, new opportunities. But if I were to spend the next 8 hours with you. At the 8-hour mark, I would share something with you that would fundamentally change your business for the next number of years. And so, very, very tip of the iceberg. I'm going to show you some different ideas. I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts and sort of guide you through, but I definitely want to sort of tamper the expectations of what's happening today. So if you know what this code is, put 1 into the chat. Just put the number 1 into the chat. I get asked, Michael, what is AI? And this to me is what Michael, there we go. Michael knows 1. There we go. 1, 1, 1, 1. I love this. People ask me, Michael, what is AI? And this is my best description given my generation of what AI is. And this is the Konami cheat code: up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, or BA, select if you had a friend, start. AI is simply a cheat code. Contra was a very difficult game back in the late 80s. It was frustrating. It was stressful when you got further along and you only had 1 life left and you had to start again and you had to repeat the process. And then you put in this code and you kind of get unlimited lives. And all of a sudden things become a lot easier. The stress goes away. You don't sweat the small stuff. And so if you're looking at AI, you can't compete without a cheat code against someone who is, or vice versa. So in a nutshell, it is absolutely a cheat code when it comes to our business. That's what AI is. There's something called digital divide. And this is how it works. And it's something you really have to be aware of, right? So if you think about my parents' generation, if you think about my father-in-law, who I love, like a year ago, he realized that the flashlight on the front of his phone icon turned on the flash on the back, and he could use it as a flashlight. Now, my father-in-law is a really, really smart guy. But there's something called digital divide, which means if you put down technology for any period of time and sort of don't use it in a daily manner, when you pick it up again, it becomes confusing or it becomes overwhelming. And that's absolutely happens in all cases. And right now, when it comes to AI, there's going to be a digital divide. Right now, it's like this, and it's easy to jump to the other side. And that's what we're here to help you do, to get to the other side of the divide. But because AI is moving so fast, that divide is going to impact people very, very quickly. It's going to become bigger and bigger gap in that divide. It's going to be harder and harder to jump. And maybe a year from now or 2 years from now, agents will find it so overwhelming that they'll find it impossible to jump to the other side. And so we're going through an internet revolution again right now, but at a much larger scale and a much faster speed. And that's what we have to be aware of, this digital divide that's going to leave people behind. We've got a poll question for you, and I just want to know where you are in your AI journey. What's AI is you're using it once or twice a week. Then there's beginners, intermediates, and let's take experts off the table. Let's say there are no experts. It's too new, it's too fast. If you want to throw up that poll question, Carrie, and just get a sense of where everyone is in their journey. We've got a lot of beginners. I use it daily, Tammy says, but go ahead there and just put it in there just so I get a sense of where we are. Beginners, below beginners. I love that. That's a great answer, Cindy. Daily, intermediate, beginners. Awesome. I
love the
wow. And you know what? And that's what's super, super exciting is like, if you're here and you've realized this is something that you want to sort of tackle and take on, and you're a beginner, the opportunities are just absolutely everywhere. They're going to be absolutely everywhere. So it's very, very, very exciting that you guys are here. Awesome. Good to know. Intermediates. Well, let's keep that in mind as we go through this. So the question is, if you are a beginner and you're trying to figure out, like, why should I care about this? This is absolutely why you should care. Study after study has shown the impact that AI has on efficiency and quality of output, right? There are reports from MIT and from Stanford that find that professionals, and that's key, professionals like you and me who use this technology can reduce time on task by up to 80%, which means what takes you 5 hours to do takes me 1. It also found that quality of output improves by 40%, which means what takes you 5 hours takes me 1, and my 1 hour is 40% better than your 5. And simply, that's why you should care, is that time back, giving you back 2 hours every day if implemented properly. And then people say, Michael, I don't have time to learn AI. And that's exactly why you should be learning AI. If you don't have time to learn AI, you need to find time to learn AI, because every hour you invest in learning AI, you're going to get an hour or two every week back from that 1 hour. And then 3 hours are going to give you back 10 hours. And then 40 hours are going to give you back weeks and weeks and weeks in your schedule. So if you don't have time to put into learning AI, you should be putting time into AI and grabbing that time back. You absolutely have to do that because it will free up time. We're right now looking at all the ways that people have been taking our training program that are implementing it in ways that I never thought of. And the reason why they can implement it that way is because they're finding weeks and months of extra time they didn't have fall back into their lap, and then they can reinvest that in their business and reinvest it in that human connection. The next question you should be asking yourself is, does it work? Now, this is the web traffic to our team's website throughout 2023. And you can see almost down to the day when we started using AI on our website and to create the content that we put on it. Now, when I show this graph, it causes people to say, well, what was that one prompt or that one technique that you used to cause this growth? And by the way, that graph just continues to grow. And the key that you need to embrace is there isn't one prompt. There is nothing, one thing we did that caused this. When you can do more of what you do that generates business, and that more that you're doing is also better, your business will improve. That's simply it. If you can do more of the meaningful things, the listing consultations, the buyer, the showing homes and sitting down and visiting past clients, if you can do all of that more and all of that more you can do better, your business is going to improve. It is simple as that. Now, I believe there are two losers and one winner when it comes to AI and real estate. The first loser are the people like those that ignored the internet in 1995 and says, I will not participate in this. They were absolutely wrong. Now, I was an agent back in 1995 when the internet first came along, and agents were saying, I'm not going to do this. I'm never going to participate in the internet. Those people are wrong. Agents who ignore AI are going to lose. They'll either leave the business or they will change their mind and start to embrace it. That's key number one. The next loser is the agent that is going to put this technology between them and their client, who's going to put AI right here. Those people are going to lose. People that are listening to experts on stages throughout our industry telling you to create a digital avatar of yourself to communicate with your clients. If you use this technology to distance yourself from your client, to be less human, you are going to lose. If you see DocuSign as a way of doing business so you never have to sit across the table from your clients during the most emotional and meaningful part of the transaction, then you do the same thing with AI. That's not what it's meant for. DocuSign is meant to get a signature at 12 o'clock at night when your clients are already in the pajamas because it's great customer service. That's the difference. The winners are the agents that are going to put this technology behind them, streamlining all the things in their business. That's all that $20 an hour busy work, market data and systems and document management and content creation and all those things, streamlining all that, freeing up a couple hours each day so you can spend more time with a nervous first-time home buyer. The people that use this technology to free up time and then use that time to be more human are the people that are going to win when it comes to AI in real estate. Throughout December, I sat on calls with a bunch of agents taking our training program to find out, like, why are you winning when it comes to AI and real estate? And this was a very key point of it. Agents that are using this technology as a teammate, going back and forth, building. My light source just changed color, so I'm a little overexposed right now, but that's all right. That scared me a little bit. The agents that are using this technology as a teammate, that are going back to the same source over and over again, the same conversation, building context, building a program together, they are winning. And I talked about this with Brian, and Brian loved that idea so much that we had to hit it home. He made us t-shirts, which is AI is not a tool, it is a teammate. Those people that are approaching AI simply as a really amazing Google are not going to win. It's about creating a teammate with it, and I'll talk you through that. Agents that are leveraging custom instructions, and we don't have time to get into it. It's a whole 1 hour session inside the training program. Building your voice, tone, and style so it always sounds like you, right? That is really, really important. The fact that it knows who you are, what you do every single time you have a conversation is really, really important. Custom instructions is the number one thing you can do to go from 5 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour instantly every single time you use this technology. They're also using, as we teach, projects inside ChatGPT as departments. And I'm going to show you this just as an example later on. But those agents that are setting up departments in their business, a marketing department, a data management department, a market analysis department, and then putting digital employees in charge of those departments, which isn't as complicated as it sounds telling you right now. That's how they're using it, and they're getting a ton of value out of it. And they're also using a high use of advanced voice mode. And I'm going to show you advanced voice mode here later on in the session. But those are the 4 things these agents are doing that they're winning. Treating it like a teammate, using custom instructions, building projects as departments, and using advanced voice mode quite a bit. So this is my AI starter kit.
Can I pause you right there? Yep. I want to just say to everyone, I know everyone's going, oh my goodness, those 4 things are so critical. Keep in mind, again, this is going to be repurposed for you on our YouTube channel as well as in One University. And I just want to stop and just say 2 things, because there was a lot of chat about don't let it replace you, keep the relationship. That is why Kuba and One Coaching partnered with Buffini and Company. Buffini and Company is a by referral company. Everything you're hearing is to help you build better relationships. So number 1, keep that in mind. And I love the term, it's a tool. It's not a tool, it's a teammate. This is not something you throw in the trunk. This is something that builds you and supports you. So I just wanted to pause a minute. And the last thing is, can you say pajamas again? Because that's like super cute. Pajamas.
Pajamas. My Canadian, and I realize there's a couple of these people. There's a couple of people in the chat that are from the fake Vancouver. They're from the wrong one, the Vancouver, Washington one. I kid. I'm from the real Vancouver, just outside. So that was my Canadian accent coming through.
Okay.
There you go. Awesome. So this is my AI starter kit. If I were to say, hey, what you should be using to get started, it would be the $20 a month ChatGPT Plus account. And by the way, this is as of January 2026. I use Gemini, I have the Pro account. I use Claude, I have the Pro account. I test all these tools. If I were to start right now, it would be the ChatGPT Plus account, $20 a month. I'd be using the free NotebookLM. I could spend 4 hours blowing your mind on how important NotebookLM is in your toolkit. The free account will get you there. And I'd be also using the free account in Perplexity. Now, we don't have the time to go through all that, but that is my ideal AI starter kit. So this is what we're going to be covering today. We're going to show you a 3-step SOP sequence, which is a standing operating procedure. We're going to show you how to build out an unbelievable SOP system, but also show you the impact of having a teammate where you go back and you build something off of it. We're also going to brainstorm a great creative idea using a perfect prompt. And then we're also going to empower AI with your own expertise. You are the expert. Don't rely on its intelligence. Flip it around and make the intelligence pull it out of you. And we're going to show you exactly how to do that. So we're going to start with a great 3-step SOP sequence. So what I need from someone in the chat is, if you feel, Tammy's from Vancouver, Washington. I know there's a couple of you in there. That's great. If you are in the chat, you want to improve your first-time home buyer business, please put in your name and your brokerage into the chat box right now, and we will use you as an example. So if you want to improve your first-time home buyer business, okay, you know what? These are moving so fast. I'm going to have to, I don't even know if I can call that. Okay, I think, I can do that. Okay, so let's go with Dory Bruce. All right, so I am going to flip over here. So now I'm in ChatGPT, and as you can see, I am in a department inside my company. I can't explain it all right now, but I am in the client journey and SOP department, right? And I have a digital employee in charge of this department who is a client experience system architect. And this is their instructions, what they do. This is very easy to set up, but it changes every single time I get into having a conversation about SOPs or department architectures or client journey stuff. I come into this department and I have conversations, and it changes everything instantly. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little search about, was it Dory? Dory. So we're going to put in here Dory Bruce. There we go. And let me write that down because I'm going to forget. And the brokerage that Dory works at is Realty One Group Emerald. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have ChatGPT do a quick little search, and we're going to find out a little bit about Dory. So We're going to find us, it's going to perform the search for Dory at Realty One Emerald. And then we're going to figure out the area that they serve, their area of expertise, and the three main categories of clients they serve. I'm going to go ahead and send that off. Now, sometimes this comes back in ChatGPT 2.5, but right now it's searching the project content, which means it's looking back of everything that it knows about the department every single time before it does it. So Dory Bruce also operates Freedom Keys Realty LLC underneath the same brokerage. I don't know if that is true. Service area, San Antonio, Texas, surrounding communities. So that is important to know. I'm going to pull that out. Areas of expertise, buyer representation, seller services, relocation and transitions, notable experiences, military and veteran first-time home buyers and first-time home buyers right there inside there. Education, three manager client categories right there. So we already have a bunch of information about Dory that we're going to come back to in a second. And Dory, if that information for some reason that happened once isn't correct, let me know in there too as well. Yes, all correct. Awesome. Thank you, Dory. We're going to come back to that in a second, but I want to talk about deep research. Deep research is a tool inside ChatGPT, it's inside Gemini. There's a version of it inside Claude, but it is incredible. The CEO of ChatGPT said that deep research can do 5% of all financially viable work in the world as of today. And that is a number that's really, really hard to get around to. And all the people that said they're beginners who are just beginning, this might blow your mind. Those people that have a bit more experience, I'm sure, are using deep research on a regular basis. But unlike regular interaction with a large language model with ChatGPT, where you get a question, you get an answer, you ask a question, you get an answer real quickly, this is giving ChatGPT a task and going off and working for 20 minutes or a half an hour and bringing you back an unbelievable piece of research. So here's an example of a deep research prompt that we could fire off, is just simply create the ultimate first-time homebuyer guide for Langley and the Fraser Valley. That's the area that I do business. Conduct an in-depth research to develop a comprehensive guide titled First-Time Homebuyer Guide, designed from a perspective of a seasoned realtor in Langley, BC. This guide should address every facet of the home buying journey and mortgage process for first-time home buyers in Langley and the broader Fraser Valley. And after a half an hour, you get something like this back, which is a 30-page document, which is perfectly researched and organized about everything a first-time home buyer needs to know about buying a home in the Fraser Valley in Langley, BC. Now, once I have this document, I've got 8 blog posts. I've got 30 to 50 Instagram reel scripts. I've got an ebook. I've got a 2-page cheat sheet checklist that I can give the first-time home buyer during a buyer consultation. So once we have this sort of information, then we can take it as a teammate with AI and build more and more tools as we go. And that is exactly what we're going to do right now. So if we pop back over to ChatGPT and we're in this conversation about Dory, I am now going to perform deep research for her about everything about buying a home in the area. So now you are a seasoned realtor and client experience strategist with 20 plus years worth of experience in San Antonio, Texas, residential real estate. Conduct a comprehensive multi-layered research to produce the ultimate first-time homebuyer journey blueprint on a guided first-time homebuyer through the complete home buying experience in San Antonio. So San Antonio, Texas is what we're going to worry about. Now, when we send this off, you're going to see that it's very, very different. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't turn on edit. You know what? I don't even know if I can do this. Let me just copy and paste this. I have to turn off search and I have to turn on deep research. Didn't do that, and copy and paste it in there. Now, when we send this off, you're going to see that it's very different. It's not going to give me an answer. It's going to say, hey, look, I'm about to work for a half an hour on this. I'm going to ask you some questions to clarify what I'm going to do before I go off and work. So the first question is, should this be structured as a client-facing educational guide or internal training document? So number one, we want to have an internal training document. You can see how that client-facing education guide would be very different than internal, just that. Would you like me to research to include local programs, grants, specific neighborhoods suited for entry-level buyers, and sample timelines? So yeah, let's just do it all. Should this be tailored to a particular home buyer persona, a VA buyer, single, or remain general? And then we'll just go number 3, general. And I'm going to fire that off. And you're going to see that it's going to start working in a different way than your usual interaction with ChatGPT, right? It's going to say it's going to start doing this research. And here we go. Starting research. It's going to pop open a little section over here on the side, and it's going to sit away and it's going to work now for about 20 minutes while we go through the rest of this session and finish stuff off. You're going to see here that's going to go over here and work. So we'll let it just do its work, and we'll move on to the next part of our presentation. So the next thing I want to talk about is brainstorming with a perfect prompt. One of the great things about ChatGPT is its ability to brainstorm. And when we're talking about prompts, we're talking about getting it to the ideal goal. So in this case, our goal is the center pin, right? That's where we want to get it. And so a prompt is making it easier to always hit that center pin every single time. So we put down some hardwood floors, we put some arrows, and then we put up those little guides on the side that make sure that we're more likely to hit the pin. Good prompting results in that sort of thing. For example, you can say, create an essay on the War of 1812. That's a prompt. And if you fire that off, you get this answer. There we go, the War of 1812, and you get an essay. But if we do a prompt like this, we get a very different answer. Create an essay on the War of 1812, but make it at a grade 7 level and leave enough errors so that my teacher won't become suspicious. Make it good enough to get a B+. You send that out and you get this essay back, and you can see the last sentence of that first part. This would likely land around a B+ if turned in as is. So great prompting means you're more likely to get the result that you want every single time. And there is a formula to a perfect prompt that I have realized, and it's this: task, context, model, persona, format, and voice. And it becomes less and less important as we go down. Every single time you interact with ChatGPT, there's a task, which is write, research, brainstorm, right? What do you want AI to do? Then we're talking about context, which is really what you're trying to achieve. What is your goal, right? Why are you doing this? And then 3 is the model, which is basically what does good look like, right? You have to tell ChatGPT what a good output looks like. Persona, you've already seen it. Act like a real estate copywriter with 20 years of experience. Act like a SOP and client journey specialist. If you give it a persona, everything gets filtered through that role that you're giving it. And then we talked about format. Sorry, go back one more time. Let's talk about format. You just saw it. The difference between a client-facing SOP or form and an internal document. You know, so format is, do you want a blog post? Is it an email? Is it an SOP? Is it a table? Whatever it is. And then voice, it's about your tone, your voice, tone, and style to make sure it sounds like you or sounds like the output that you want. And this is in custom instructions, so you don't have to worry about it. So this is what we want to achieve. Our task for this prompt is we want it to generate. We want it to create something. And the context is 5 wildly creative and even impractical ideas for a particular topic. Then the model is, what does good look like? What does a good output look like? We want to develop the ideas to a refined solution or narrative, adding details to make it viable and actionable, balance bold innovation with practical steps. The persona is act like imaginative brainstorming assistant. The format is a clear and original proposal. And the voice doesn't really matter because this is an internal document. So this is what I want from you guys. We put it all together and we're going to create some wildly creative brainstorming ideas for your real estate business. So in the chat right now, I want you to, bunch of you, this is like improv theater. Put in there something you would love to brainstorm about your business that's creative. It could be a Buffini Pop By idea. It could be a client party. It could be some sort of marketing content. It could be a client party, whatever you want. It could be anything like that. New construction marketing, increasing your sphere. Let's keep going there. Let's get some farming, a new area. Farming, plan social media posts, client appreciation day. I love that. Client appreciation day. Let's do that. So if we pop over to ChatGPT, we're going to go in here and you can see that we have this prompt, act as an imaginative system, and watch how a perfect prompt creates a result. Guys, look how short that prompt is, but it's perfect. These results will be so incredible. So what is it going to do? It's going to create 5 prompts or 5 ideas, and then it's going to automatically choose the best idea it believes is the best idea, and then it's going to refine it into a proposal. So client appreciation, probably spelt wrong, event. And we're going to, 5.2. Let's, you know what? Okay, we'll send that off. I said we can put it on thinking. But you're going to see how this result is going to be incredible. So 5 wildly creative and impractical client event ideas. The time capsule experience. Clients arrive at a venue like different decades, 2000s. Each room plays music, food, decor, neighborhood come to life. You secretly recruit a local business owner, artists, musicians, chefs from the neighborhoods your clients live in, and they become a living walkthrough version of their community with pop-ups, stories. Reverse open house. Instead of showcasing a home, each client gets a mini exhibit celebrating a chapter of their life. A gratitude market, you rent a large space and turn it into a marketplace where clients don't spend money, they spend appreciation. Each booth is an experience, 5-minute massage, custom poem, a legacy letter night. Clients arrive to discover you've written each of them a personal letter and how they impacted your business. Part 2, the most compelling idea to refine was the gratitude market. And it goes through and it creates those outputs. Now, you could do this a bunch of, you can see how experienced it gets. Memory booth, artists, it just keeps going and going with great ideas. Look at it, it just keeps going. Start with 40 to 60 practical plan. It just keeps building it. Look at that. It's incredible. So you can do this for so many things, this idea, but you can see how this perfect prompt created something so specific and so well thought out. And we could have put that on the ChatGPT 5.2 thinking, and it would have thought for a little bit more. But a perfect prompt creates a great output, right? And now you could run this 20, 30, 40 times. You can use it for anything. You could use it for all the ideas that you were talking about, farming and reaching more buyers, a client appreciation. You could use a prompt. But a perfect prompt creates an unbelievable output. And that's the elements of a perfect prompt that I wanted to share with you guys. So number 3, let's talk about empowering AI with your expertise. And this is a really, really great example. And I mentioned it before. A lot of people that are having huge success are using advanced voice mode quite a bit, which is a real-time natural conversation featured inside ChatGPT. It's also now available in Gemini, where you speak and it responds instantly. It captures your tone, pace, nuance, and it makes your interactions feel like a live dialogue with a colleague, ideal for brainstorming, interviews, and extracting your own expertise. And the reason why this is so valuable is ChatGPT is smart. There's no doubt about it, but it doesn't have your intelligence, your knowledge, your expertise, your life experience that is so valuable to your potential clients and your business. So let's flip the script. Let's not make ChatGPT or a large language model the area of intelligence. Let's make you the area of intelligence by using advanced voice mode. So if you're not familiar, advanced voice mode is not the microphone symbol, but the little squiggly symbol right next to that symbol. That's how you start advanced voice mode. And we're going to go live right now with all of you guys, and I'm going to show you advanced voice mode. So this should work. I'm going to open up advanced voice mode. Hey, chat, how are you?
Hey there. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Good, good. So I am doing a live webinar right now for the amazing crew at Realty One, and I want to share the example that I use where we can turn you into sort of an assistant to get great knowledge out of me about what's happening in the local real estate market. So right now I'm going to start the prompt like I normally would so people get a sense of what I'm talking about. How about that? Can we start right now?
Absolutely. Let's do it. I'm ready to jump in and help you out live.
Okay.
Just go ahead and start the prompt like you normally would, and we'll show them.
Yeah, no, sure. Can you say hi to everyone at Realty One?
Of course. Hi, everyone at Realty One. Great to have you all here. I'm excited to be part of your webinar and to help out.
Okay, so here's how I do it. Okay, chat, I want you to ask me 7 to 10 questions about everything that's happening right now in the local real estate market here in Langley, BC, as of January 2026. All at the point of getting down to really important information that buyers and sellers would like to know about what's happening in the marketplace so they become empowered, informed, and educated about the market. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to listen to every one of my answers, and I want the answer that I give you to inform your next question so we can dig deeper and deeper and deeper into valuable information for buyers and sellers in my community right now. And then after you answer all those questions, I should say after I answer all those questions, we're going to turn this interview into an unbelievable marketing piece by using a very simple prompt. How does that sound?
That sounds fantastic. I'm totally on board. So let's get started with the first question, and we'll just take it step by step. All right, Michael, to kick things off, can you tell me a little bit about the current inventory levels in Langley right now? Are we seeing a surplus of homes?
Okay, so that's advanced voice mode. And I would go and it would ask me 7 to 10 questions, just like if a news reporter had picked up the phone and called me, right? I'm the expert. It's going to ask those questions. And I did this live with Mark Ledbetter of Realty One when we were in Miami. And this is the transcript of that conversation. Sorry, guys. This is the transcript of that conversation that I had with Mark, right? Here's the conversation inside ChatGPT. Just what I did. It asked the questions. I'm not seeing any particular neighborhoods. It said, okay, ask the next question and ask the 7 questions. In minutes, just had a conversation with Mark, just like I said. And now we run a very simple prompt and you're going to see something absolutely incredible happen. So let's go back here and I'm not going to put it on thinking, although I could put it on thinking. I've got it on auto. Oh, that's why that output for the ideas wasn't great. I didn't even have it on 5.2. So there you go. Okay, so act like a real estate copywriter specializing, turning realtor interviews into compelling trust-building market updates. And once again, this is a conversation I had with Mark months ago. Using the interview responses, create a detailed market update. I want 2 paragraphs for buyers, 2 paragraphs for sellers, a market outlook, write a professional yet approachable voice, authoritative and market advisor, warm, reassuring like a trusted advisor, weave impactful quotes and authentic insights that educate, inspire confidence, and drive readers to connect for personal guidance. Conclude with a strong call to action. And I send this off and it just simply turns Mark's interview where he didn't have to think. He just pulled his expertise and put it on the page. And here we have Naples real estate market update, a local expertise perspective where market stands and where his market is headed. As longtime Naples realtors, Mark Ledbetter explains, this is a market where success depends less on headlines and more about understanding what's actually happening on the ground. A quote, we've had a market shift over the past 18 months, Mark notes. Insights for buyers. Buyers in Naples, insight for sellers. Sellers, the biggest differentiator right now is education. It's not the same market as it was in 2022, Mark says plainly. Market outlook, there we go. Final thoughts and next steps, a nice little call to action. There you go. You are the expert. And using advanced voice mode just helps you pull that expertise out of you. And I can tell you, I'll go for a walk with my dog, Finn, and I say, hey, chat, I want to talk about everything about staging right now for the next 20 minutes. And we just talk about staging. I tell things about when people listened to our advice and it worked well, people when they ignored our advice and it didn't go well. And then I say, hey, now turn that into a blog post and I have it on my desk ready for me to review in 10 minutes. And it happens. It's my anecdotes. It's my expertise. All it does is it helps us get that information out and onto the page where we can share it with other people. It's unbelievable. All right. So there we go. Let's go back. That was our third part. Now let's pop back to our profile playbook, our 3-step sequence that we had for Dory. Now I am hoping that it's still working. Still working on our deep research project. I can pop back over here and I'll show you guys. It's still working and we need this to be done for it to get there. So you can see it's already working because we're going to turn this into an unbelievable SOP. So we're going to come back to this. We're going to go a little bit around the room and we'll come back to this and we'll create a great SOP for Dory here right at the end. But this is normally where we would finish this off. But I won't show you that. I'll show you that. We got a little giveaway for you. Oh, I'm glad it wasn't on the screen. We got a little giveaway for you. But I do want to share this with you guys. This is my last slide of the presentation, although it's not going to be the last slide because we're going to come back to it. There are 2 types of agents out there. There are 2 types of people. There are adopters and they are adapters, right? They're the people that see change and they see it as opportunity. And then there's people who see change as a challenge, right? I'm an adopter. The leadership at Realty One are adopters. They see change and they say, how can we take advantage of this change? They see it as a place to grab land, to seize the opportunity. And that's what I'm doing right now with a lot of great agents. We're dealing with a lot of great adopters. Then there are the adapters in the world. These are the people that will change only when it's too painful not to change, right? They'll change because they have to remain relevant or to remain in business. But here's the key point about adopters and adapters. They both changed. They both had to go through the pain of learning a new skill. They both had to go through all those things, the trials and errors, the wins, the losses, the move forward, the step backs. But one benefited from doing that, and one just stayed relevant enough to stay in business. If you can embrace the fact that this is going to have a bigger impact on your personal and your professional lives than the internet, and it will, then by waiting, you're not going to win, but you're going to do it anyway. But by taking action right now, not only are you going to do it, but you're going to win, and you're going to win big. So please, please, even if you are an adapter, push yourself out of the comfort zone, become an adopter, come along with us and let us help you embrace this. And by the way, if there's any wows or, oh my goodness, that's a good idea, like this is like one module and we bring you one of these every month to transform your business. We give you all the downloads and whatnot. So let's go to that. Let's talk about the Buffini AI Bootcamp. And Kathy mentioned it. And hopefully that this is going to finish off here for Dory, or else I will have to send another example out. But this is what we've done. So why we developed the Buffini AI Bootcamp is very, very simple. For years and years before the AI world came along, I was on the biggest stages of in North America and Europe, mainly talking about social media and video. And always at the point of improving the customer experience. That's all we ever cared about. We were early adopters to being paperless. We were early adopters to video. We were early adopters to a lot of things, always to improve the customer experience. And when AI came along, the phone started ringing from all these people that I had previous relationships with. A very, very good example is the Realty One's Corey Vasquez, who I've known for a long, long time. And we did a lot of work together before, the years before COVID, during the video revolution there when it came to in our business. And the phone started ringing because they knew I would be down the rabbit hole early, all looking at AI on a way to improve the customer experience. And so for the next 2 years, I traveled around and was on the biggest stages in North America, helping agents get their head around the opportunity that is AI. And this is in Vegas. This is at the Mandalay Bay Arena. And in the audience that day during this presentation was Darren Dawson of Buffini and Company. I've known Darren for a very, very long time. He was one of the founders of BombBomb. I've worked with him for years. And when I got off stage, which I love, and it happened in Miami with so many of you, I got so many great conversations with so many of you, people line up and they ask me a ton of questions about, and I love there and sit there and answer all the questions. So I sat there for about an hour answering about 200 people's questions afterwards. And Darren came up to me and said, hey, Michael, what kind of questions are you getting from these agents? And I said, Darren, I'm getting one question and one question only, which is, what do I do now? And the reality was, I'm a practicing agent. And I said to him, now that it's a huge opportunity, I don't know. I got to go back home and sell real estate in Vancouver. And Darren said, Michael, this is a problem we have to fix. We have to get these guys what do we do now? We have to help them with that problem. And that's where my relationship with Brian Buffini Company started, because they knew I was talking about AI as remaining human. So that's why we build it. So how can it help? We've already talked about this. We're going to give you a jump in productivity by 80%. We're going to increase your quality of output by 40%. And most importantly, we're going to give you 2 hours a day back in your life to reinvest in your best relationships with your clients, reinvest in your children, reinvest in your relationships, reinvest in your hobbies, reinvest in your life. 2 hours a day back, if done properly, to streamline those things. That's how it can help. So how does it work? What's included? Well, what we do is we have a live session every single month. We bring you a new topic live. We bring you all the resources. Lasts about 45 minutes with about 15-minute Q&A. And then every week after our live sessions, we do a Facebook Live. I come right here in the studio and we just turn on the camera. And for an hour and a half, 2 hours, I just answer all your questions. All the videos are on demand replays. You can watch them, and people do many, many times, and they'll always be there for you to watch at a later time. We give you all the tools. We give you all the prompts. We give you all the templates. We make this streamline it very, very easy. We'll show you how to create your digital employees and do all that stuff. All that information is for you, right there for you to download and put in place. And the other thing is, it's real world applications, right? I'm a practicing real estate agent. There is nothing I've shared in our training that I haven't done myself, right? So everything I've done, I'm out with buyers and sellers. I got a listing presentation here in about an hour, and I will implement this stuff, and then I make sure it works, and then I present it to all of you. And so for you guys have a discount code, which is crazy because you've got an amazing crew and they've got a good relationship with Buffini & Company, but you guys get 15% off with the promo code 1AI. And this is how it works. When you sign up for a year at a time. So if you sign up right now, you get 12 sessions, but you also get the 7 sessions that have already been released for free. They're there for you right now. You can go binge watch them. Session number 2 is a lot, and I apologize. We've sort of found our pace after session number 2, but you guys get 15% off. You sign up for a year, but you also get everything that's already been released, and it will be an ongoing thing as we go forward. And if timing couldn't be more perfect, our deep research has just come back, and here we go. So let's go back to this final thing. I'm going to have to find the slide for you guys because there's another download code, and then we'll do a little bit of Q&A if we have time. So this is the deep research that we did for Dory, right? Dory Bruce. All right. So this is the first-time homebuyer journey blueprint for San Antonio, Texas, step 1. And you can see, I'm going to scroll through this. This research is unbelievable, all about things I don't know about. Areas, Lafayette Place, and I can scroll through. It's going to talk about financing things that are happening specific to that person. Here we go. We're going to scroll all the way through. And it just keeps going. Amazing research. It's done all this research. I got to get to the end so we can do this. And normally I would read through this, of course. And so now what we have is we know information about Dory. We did a little bit of research for Dory. And then we also did research about first-time homebuyers in San Antonio, Texas. Now we're going to turn this all into an amazing SOP for Dory. So here's how it works. You're a real estate client experience with 20 plus years worth of experience. Your task is to transform this deep research into a step-by-step SOP. And what you're going to do is we're going to get all the objectives for the client. We're going to get the agent's key actions and responsibilities. We're going to get all the client care and raving fan touch points. This is all going to be magic. And we're also going to get all the essential resources and checklists for the client, right? So now we're going to come down here. The agent is Dory Bruce, and the service area is San Antonio, Texas. No, that's not. I had it copied and pasted. Oh, it's probably not even close. This is my biggest fear, is typing in front of someone. All right, so we've got it on ChatGPT 2. We could go thinking, do we have it on auto? We got it on auto. We're going to fire this off, and you're going to see it's going to make a specific SOP for Dory, for San Antonio, Texas, for first-time buyers, done all the research that we just gave. So here we go. Step 1 is financial readiness and mortgage pre-approval. So these are the objectives for the client. These are Dory's key responsibilities. So it takes you through everything you have to do. Client care and raving fan touch points. Use a 1-page monthly payment breakdown showcasing all of it. Reduce anxiety, celebrate the first milestone, protect them from common error and mistakes. And now look at this. This is the essential resource and checklist for step number 1. First-time home buyer programs overview, San Antonio. Now you know what you can do at the bottom of this. What is an SOP? Standard operating procedure. So now that we have ChatGPT in here, guess what we can do? Hey, Chat, in step 1, under essential resources and checklists, you mentioned a first-time homebuyer program overview for San Antonio. Write that for me. Hey, In step 1, section 4, you talk about a home budget worksheets with comfort payment target savings plan and down payment closing costs and emergency funds. Write that for me. Create that as a PDF. Create that as a blog post. You also say that you need a mortgage glossary in plain English that talks about pre-approval, escrow, PMI, which I don't even know what that is, rate lock, appraisal, option period, and earnest money. Write that for me. Create that for me. Right now, is it perfect? No, but can you tweak it? Absolutely. Stage number 2, home searching and neighborhood guidance. The objectives for the client. Dory's key responsibilities. The client care and raving touch points. Reduce decision fatigue. Give a scorecard. Normalize the emotional roller coaster. Protect their confidences. And once again, needs and wants worksheets. Write it for me. San Antonio neighborhood comparison sheet. Write it for me. Top property type comparisons. Write it for me. I am telling you guys, you would never do this before this. And now you can do this. And this is specific. And I can scroll down for you and we'll go to Q&A. But look at this. This is specific just for Dory. It's unbelievable. It's still working. So there you go. So now I got to go back into my slides because I'm giving you guys this session. Here we go. There you go. There you go. If you go to buffini.com/prompt, you've got right now free for everyone the 3-step SOP sequence that has the agent research. It has the deep research prompt that you just add in there, and then the SOP. And what's really amazing about this is an SOP for a first-time home buyer. Switch out the word first-time home buyer and write right sizing, transfer, investment property. You guys can just switch out the words in the prompts and you can create unbelievable resources for all of you. And so that's what I've got, Kathy. If we got any time, we went right up against it. But any time for Q&A, I would love to do that.
I'm speechless. I mean, this is just incredible. A couple of things I just want to emphasize again. That this is going to be available on YouTube as well as One.U later this week, maybe even later today. The presentation is excellent. The slides, however, will not be available. And one reason is because we want to protect Michael. The other thing, there's a lot of hard work behind that. But the most important thing, I believe, Michael, is that they need the audio with it. I don't think anyone's going to walk away with this on PowerPoint and be able to do what they need to do. Yeah. So just go back and watch it, stop it, slow it down, speed it up, whatever you need to do. Let's look at the questions right now.
I think, can I add to that as
Sure.
well? And Michael, you're amazing. You got a big heart, man. Easy to follow. You simplified it, and you're just and again, thank you for your kind words and thoughts at the beginning of this session. You're a rock star, and it's awesome to have you with us. Most of all, thank you for everyone being on this call, because you invested not only in 1 hour out of your day for something that is just revolutionizing personal and professional lives, but you're also investing in yourself in the future. So thank you, and you should thank yourselves as well. This is very, very significant and meaningful. By the way, the annual summit in our new era, after 20 years of just rocking and rolling and growing globally, we're going to pause on the annual summit. And instead, we're going to do something new, and we're going to come closer to home. We're going to come to you for our One Talks, and so we have 20 planned across America throughout this year, and we're going to be sharing those dates and locations over the next week. And thank you, Michael, for committing to 6 of those 20 in person as a follow-up AI session. So I'm going to be there. Kathy, you're going to be at some of them. So we're looking forward to the one-day Fast and Furious agent training boot camp, so you could keep progressing, achieving, and being successful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, Kuba. Michael, you're the best. Do you want to jump into any of these questions? Michael told us he could stay a few minutes longer. Some of you I know are on the clock, but if you've got questions, we've got Michael for a few more minutes, so ask away. A lot of love coming to you, Michael Thorne.
Man, these comments are great. Amazing. Thank you. I mean, it's incredible. You know what? Probably the comment, the one comment, I don't know if I can go back there, but it was like, I already feel, right? Dawn says, this is awesome. I already feel less stressed. And we do. Agents are the fact that you feel less stressed is so exciting. And I hope people see, as beginners, go, all right, I can see that this is because a lot of people are treating it like a really smart Google, and you can clearly see how I've shown you that's exactly what it's not, and the opportunities are absolutely incredible. And what, like I said, just scratch the surface.
I think for me, and I'm starting to use it more and more and more, obviously. But for me, I forget, like getting into the habit of going, oh, let me ask chat for that, or oh, let me dive into that and see what, just to kind of save me time. I think remembering to use it is the hard part and getting into that habit.
It does become a habit. And one of the things, it's like, I mean, there's very few people that feel like they've got to that intermediate level that then go, you know what, I'm going to stop using it. There's no value. Like everyone still uses it. It's finding it. Once you do one thing, you go, oh, okay, what else can it do? And you sort of expand that thought process. And one of the great things about Realty One and what you guys are doing right now in a community like this, when someone says, I'm using it for this, you go, oh, I never thought of that before. And then the next person builds off that. And that's what this like watch parties or people that are taking the AI boot camp as a group. I know a lot of people are taking it, like 4 or 5 people. They watch live for an hour and then they sit around for an hour and they talk about it and you spark ideas. Oh, what if you did this? What if you could do that? And you're really only limited, Carrie, to what you want to achieve. It requires you to sort of think of the idea, but it can help you do it for sure. That's a great, great, great point.
I love there's a comment in here. And there are a couple of things I want to say. We didn't talk a lot about validation, Michael. And I want to just say one thing that's incredibly important that brings so much value to everyone listening to this as a professional is you are the subject matter expert for your market. You're the validator. So you can take all of this information, you can tweak it, but just make sure it's accurate. You know, make sure that everything that is showing, Dory, for San Antonio is applicable to your market and is accurate. So your value as a professional goes up 100 times when you validate the content that's provided.
Absolutely. And I normally have a slide that's called the 80-15-5 rule. ChatGPT is very, very good for you to getting you from a blank page to 80% real quick. But that next 15% is still on you. You still not need to edit it, check for biases, make sure it's in your voice, make sure it's accurate. No broker owner is going to say, oh, you know what you posted was misleading, but you did, oh, it was ChatGPT who did it and you didn't check it, well, then there's no problem. Of course there's a problem, but this is not new, Kathy. If you hired someone to help you write your mission statement, you would never post it online before reading it. Like that's the same thing. And we do have to check for biases. We do have to make sure it's fact checked. And there's tools, great tools, like we can't get into it, Perplexity for fact checking, but absolutely the responsibility is still on you to make sure that there's value, but it gets you from 0 to 80% real quick. Wow, guys, I can't thank you so much.
Thank you. Michael, you're one of the family, so welcome.
I appreciate it. Good group, and I'm excited to spend some more time with you guys throughout 2026.
Okay, guys, thank you for joining One Primetime. What an amazing way to kick off the year. We're embracing it. We're adapting, adopting, and AIO. Let's do it.
Amazing. Thanks, crew.
Okay, thank you so much.